My name's David Lifson. I'm the founder and CEO of Skrumble. I'm going to talk to you tonight about product market fit. We hear a lot about product market fit in the tech startup community. It's really become the buzzword. What is that elusive thing that is the product market fit? And why is it important? Where does it fit into your business? So my story is I've been a serial entrepreneur for my whole life. I think it's only because I can't get a job. So I've been in business for many years. I have many inventions, a lot of product market fit opportunities, a lot of hits and a lot of misses. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about some of my misses and some of my hits and how to achieve product market fit. So I'll tell you a quick miss. I was one of the pioneers of satellite dishes way back when, the giant big satellite dishes. And there was a big problem with those satellite dishes is they used to get a lot of interference. And so being one of the largest sellers of these things, we came up with an awesome way to get rid of interference. We worked for 2 years on this project. We spent a ton of money, and we developed a way for a satellite dish to completely get rid of interference. All you did was flick the switch, boom, interference was gone. But it turned out that you could just move the dish 5 feet over, and the interference was gone. So here was a great product that worked, but with no market. And so that was a really valuable lesson, a great way to waste a couple of years. So I've had a couple of other ones. Alex was talking about the prepaid phone card. And the prepaid phone card came about because somebody asked me, hey, listen, we have a lot of people that just can't make long-distance phone calls. These were people in LA primarily, and they were primarily of Mexican descent trying to call home, and they just couldn't get service. So we came up with a way to work with the grocery stores and sell these cards and give people access to long distance. And they're even to this day, people still buy phone cards and still use phone cards. So I've come up with a couple of ways from these different hits and misses of how to get the best product market fit and really how to get down to what the real essence of what your customer wants and what's going to be the cheapest way for you to sell it. The first thing you do, obviously, is you start with a pain point and you have a value proposition in your head. And presumably, you know who your target customer is. You've developed your product, you've done your best guess, you've done your best research. But where do you go from there? The next thing to do is you along the way, have presumably identified some target customers. The best thing that you can possibly do is to make a list of those target customers and go out and talk to them. And you'd be very surprised how happy people are to actually help you. It's really a remarkable thing. Most people, as long as they're not too overloaded, are happy to help you. But the important thing there is to block out the noise, because just as somebody is happy to help you, everybody wants to offer their opinion. You know, I'm sure your mother is very nice, but if she's not in your demographic, her opinion doesn't really count. The next thing that you need to do is to build the product with the customer in mind. They've told you, you have your assumptions, now you go back and listen to what they've told you, build that in. After that, it's really simple. You test your assumptions again. Another group, that same group, get those people back over and over. They will be so excited. I mean, I had a customer one time tell me, oh shit, you listened to me. That's amazing. No one's ever listened to me. So they'll be happy to help you, and it's really a remarkable thing. Even today, our product is already out in the marketplace, and we had a customer in today, a fellow that's been good enough to give us his time for the last year, and he was in today, and he sat with a bunch of us in the office and told us what he liked and what he didn't like and what we can change and how we can make his life easier and sell to more customers like him. So once we've got that feedback again, we go back and we listen some more. And then it's very important to take those key learnings and iterate small bits at a time, so you can push your iteration out and test it, get that feedback. Feedback is very, very important. I can't stress that enough, because as many great ideas as I've had in my head, most of them don't turn out so good. They're really, once you start to flesh them out, they don't work. After you iterate, the next thing to do is to widen your universe. So you find customers like the ones that you had already, like the ones that product or service resonated with, and widen that universe. Once you widen the universe, then you can simply rinse and repeat. And that's pretty much the basic of the whole thing. At the core of it, once you get a good product market fit, you'll know with great specificity who your customer is. When you know who your customer is, you can get to them cheaper because you know where they are, you know where to find them. You also get to shoot with a laser instead of a shotgun. Instead of shooting everybody and going for whoever lands, you can pinpoint with great specificity who that customer is. It'll allow you to get to market cheaper and faster because you know where to find those people. And you can be a big fish in a small pond. So all of a sudden, in a certain space, you become the expert in that field, and you become the de facto market leader. Once you've done that, the key is go find parallel markets and do it all over again. Find those parallel markets, and your product will be able to scale up faster because you know who the customer is. So in my current position with Skrumble, what does that mean? Well, it's just that. We have these customers, and we ask them over and over, please tell us what we did right, tell us what we did wrong. We want to hear, we want to know. Should the button be this big? Should it be that big? What's going to be the best thing for your users? So what we've done at Skrumble, this is the shameless plug part. As we have a collaboration platform, we've literally reimagined collaboration for small business. We combine the power of chat and team messaging with your business phone system right in your hand. Your extension rings on any device, anywhere, anytime. You have full video conferencing, screen sharing, and a ton of other great applications. So I urge everybody to try Skrumble. If you're looking for, if you know any devs, we're always looking for great devs. We're always hiring. Please see Sam, the Skrumble team's over here, and Courtney will help you out with your needs as well. Questions?
I really liked your point about listening to your customers while at the same time blocking out the noise, and I think that's probably a shared struggle with a lot of people here. And I was wondering if you had any tips on how specifically to kind of try to find the signal and block out the noise when you're trying to listen to your customers but not get overwhelmed by the million data points.
So that's a very valid question. The question is, how do you block out the noise when you're listening to your customer and get to those valid data points? And really the answer is every customer, really only what they tell you 30–40% is valid. So even a customer is giving you noise. You have to distill, break it down, and distill what is doable, what's doable in the short term, what's doable in the long term, what should your design goals be. And then as many times as you can find that same common thread, now you have a nugget of information that you can use. Everything else I regard as noise. So if 5 people are telling me the same thing, it's valid. If one person tells me, maybe not so much. If it's my mother, not so much.
I was wondering what your process is for number one for finding that pain point you can solve. Is it looking ahead for industry trends? I'm just wondering if you have if it's ad hoc or a set process you have for number 1.1 you mentioned.
Sure, that's a very good question. How do you identify what that pain point is? And really, the answer is we all have great ideas for businesses. We all can listen to an idea or dream up some kind of product or service that might be of use to someone. And then the difference that I find that I take all these ideas and then we just keep distilling them to try and throw out the ones that simply can't work. Because as you get down the process of distilling an idea, you'll probably convince yourself 9 times out of 10, that's not such a great idea.
Hi, my question is, how does your product compare to Microsoft Lync or Adobe Connect or Webex from a video conferencing perspective?
Sure. So, I mean, if we want to get into product questions, Webex, go-to-meeting type of thing, we're a fraction of the price. We have a meeting product that starts at $10 a month, no presenter fees. Microsoft Lync is more towards more of an enterprise. We stand for small business. And so we like to say that we are the Cisco/Microsoft for small business. We service the unloved.